Hello. Okay. Well, this is a interesting experience. How you going, everybody? I am Wellborn, Story Chunder. I want to thank you for this project. Actually, this is actually very original. I want to make sure that that's been made clear. I can't honestly say that I've ever done anything like this, which is probably the reason why I actually wanted to do this. Just purely standing at a microphone and talking, I think is quite a stimulating experience. Story, creation. I guess I could probably talk about how I became Wellborn, because essentially that's the perfect way to talk about the concept of creation, because essentially the symbol of Wellborn, which is my name in Celtic, which is my indigenous side of my father, it's actually my name, means young warrior. So I've always been in the arts, I think. Realistically, I've been in it since I was probably about 14. Not in a professional sense, not in a structured sense, just in an intoxicated sense. I look at creation as essentially coming to terms with your identity as an individual, really. I truly believe that the word creation is the word given to simplify a complex collection of actions that we can't really explain. So we just created a word to simplify such a complex subject matter. I started calling myself Wellborn about a year and a half ago, and the reason I called myself Wellborn was because I wanted to remove myself from everything that once created myself, which is Owen. Now, I used to be a musician, and I was a musician for about 8 years professionally. It was a strong roller coaster that took me all over the place, all over the country, all over the world. It gave me connections that I never anticipated I'd probably ever get. It taught me a lot about myself. It taught me that I had absolutely no idea who I actually was. It taught me that I was completely removed from myself, and it taught me that I was willing to die to achieve some form of stimulation. My opening up of that realisation would probably be when I was over in Scandinavia, putting myself in situations on the streets purely for the simple fact that I was completely removed from any concept of reality. Once I did something along those lines, I came back and I realised that something was really missing in my world. The thing that I think was missing from my world was my connection to culture. I am a Maribor man, which is in the introduction to my art blurb, I guess you call it, at the start of the page. Because you've got to write something, otherwise they won't put you in the exhibitions. Am I right, Nico? Or what? Me, man. Describe yourself. Oh, you tell me. You're the one picking my word. But I use that because I'm called Wellborn because that name came to me. But if I'd gotten my indigenous name, I would be calling myself that. But I haven't got that because I haven't been back to country since I was a kid. Because my world was completely removed from culture. I completely forgot I was even a Koori. And Koori is what you call someone from the southern part of Australia that's Aboriginal, and a Murri is what you call a northern part of Australia. So that's why you hear in Queensland they're called Murris, and in New South Wales and Victoria they're called Kooris. So I never really acknowledged or identified as an Aboriginal ever when I was in New South Wales in the music scene. I was a performer for 8 years, killing it too. And that kids, it was a whole other world. I was intoxicated by it. But at no point did I ever actually inject any of my culture into the situation, and therefore I was intoxicated by it, and I was always fucked off my head, and I was always I was living that classic life that you would identify with the rock star environment. Because it's just, I just had to do something. Once I moved to Queensland, all of a sudden culture started becoming a really big thing for me, and I just was exposed to Aboriginal people on a more regular basis, something that I wasn't in my current life in New South Wales. And I realised that what was missing was my Aboriginal culture and the connection that I had to it. So I started to look into that. And I was really, really spiralling. I was spiralling hard because of what I was learning. I was learning about being from the stolen generation. I was learning about slavery. My mother's side, her mother was her great-great-grandma was a slave. Her father is grandma was from the stolen generation. Stolen, Torres Strait Islander, which is also the indigenous of Australia, stolen from their family when the fathers were overseas fighting the war to defend the country. And then when they come, this happened all over the country. This is how it happened. And this happened all the way up into the 70s. They just have changed the way they do it now. Now it's not called the stolen generation, it's called the incarcerated generation. They're doing the exact same thing. Because you see, when a child goes to court in Koori culture, the grandma goes because the elders are the ones that teach the family. The mother or the father doesn't go to court with the child. The grandparents do. That's tradition, that's how you do it. And as soon as a kid goes to court without their parents, a social worker is obligated to take note. And they automatically assume the parents are abandoning their children. And they take the fucking kids. And that's been happening right up until today. That still happens right now. That's happening right now. I know kids who I'm part of foundations to help with the Big Brother concept, who are in this exact situation, from the northern land, up near the Cape, you know, and they're down here in a foreign land because they were arrested for some fucking stupid little misbehavioural bond thing, and now they're stuck down here in the city. So anyway, I learned about all this stuff, and it broke me hard, and I had to try and figure out what to do to change it. So I started to spew on a canvas. That's what I describe it as. I don't call it creating, I call it spewing, purging. So I started spewing on a canvas. Gory things, spiders, torment, torture, pain, sadness. And then I realised there needed to be something else to me besides this. So I started to think, about a year and a half ago, which is why the professional thing only started a year and a half ago, I decided to actually acknowledge myself as a creator. And I started to realise that the concept of creation, the reason I've been struggling for so long was because I was afraid. And I think that the one element that stops people from being creative is fear. Fear is the number one enemy of every individual in this room. And I think that the word creative is just another word for courage. And it was courage that I acknowledged, and that's why I call myself Wellborn, even though my actual name is Owen, is because I'm confident that what I create will speak for itself. Thank you.